Today let's talk about vacuum sealers. Today I have two external sealers in front of me. What we really want to do is try to preserve that food that you've gone through the effort of turning into jerky, or maybe you've bought some food in bulk and you're wanting to repackage it in smaller quantities. And vacuum sealing is going to allow you to put it in bags, put it in a freezer and store for a much longer period of time than if you were to put it in a Ziploc bag or wrap it in butcher paper, because it removes all of the air, helps everything stay in a more compact space. So let's start with our vacuum sealer here. Now the one we have here has a few unique features. You'll see it has a bag holder in the back. Included with it is a roll of bags. There's an integral bag cutter, and you can cut the bags to length to seal the bag. First you'll want to seal the bag, fill it with your food, and then bring it in front of the sealing bar to vacuum it down and seal it once again. You'll see on the side there's a latch right here that allows you to latch down the entire front edge of the vacuum sealer to make sure that the bag is nice and straight without any creases or lines, and it really will help vacuum that bag down every time. Next we have our professional grade model, and this one comes with quite a few additional features. You still have the roll of bags in the back. You've got the integral bag cutter, but what this one allows you to do is it has several different settings depending on the type of food that you intend to seal. So you'll notice on the top, there's two options, one for dry food and one for moist food. There's three options along the side here, one for a looser pack, standard pack, and if you want to really vacuum down tight and hard, it has a tight pack. It also includes a vacuum port on the side for canning. One other unique option is the ability to switch the drip tray from vacuum mode to inflate mode. So if you need to package some dry food, maybe you've got some potato chips or some crisp vegetables that are kind of fragile, you can actually use this to pump air into the bag and then seal it, and now you've got an air cushion around your product before you store it. So we're gonna go ahead and seal a couple items here. We've got some ground meat here and a couple different styles of jerky. And so this vacuum sealer is really well suited for these kinds of things. The ground meat is finely ground, and it doesn't have a ton of moisture, and the jerky obviously has been dried down. So one of the first things that you'll notice about the sealing bags is they're textured, and the texture allows the air to be drawn out of the bag as it's pulling vacuum. You'll notice I've already started the bag roll underneath the sealing bar. So to get started, we're gonna pull this down to the brown sealing bar down here. We're gonna close the lid, latch it in place, and hit the seal button. The seal button will illuminate. Once the light goes out, sealing is complete, and then we can pull the bag out to the length that we need. So the light's gone out. We can open this up. You can see the line across the bottom there where it sealed the bag. Now we can just pull the bag down, paying attention to about a length that looks like will be appropriate for the product that we're going to seal. Slide the cutter across on the sealing bar. The bag's been cut to length. So we've got a bag that's sealed on the bottom, open on the top. We can take our ground meat, put that in the bag. Now you just want to make sure that the open end is nice and straight across. You don't have any meat particles or fluids or anything like that in this area that's going to end up being sealed. I'm going to put the open edge down into the drip pan. Close the lid, latch it, we're gonna hit vacuum seal. When we hit vacuum seal, you'll hear it start drawing the air out, the compressor will start running. Once the tone kind of changes, you'll know that it reached full vacuum on the space, and then you'll see the seal only button illuminate, and we just wait until that light goes off, and it will be done. Here we go. Now the light is on. You could hear the change in tone when it had pulled all the air out. Light came on, lights just went off. We can unlatch it, open it up, and there we have a sealed bag. So now let's talk about a professional grade model. A couple advantages over the other is, for one, the overall width is significantly wider, so your capacity for the products that you're sealing increases pretty significantly. And the other is kind of what I touched on before, is trying to seal stuff that maybe has a little bit more moisture in it. So this one has a special mode just for dealing with that. We've got a couple steaks here. Let's go ahead and go through the process of sealing them. So I've already started the roll underneath the cutter, and we're just gonna pull the open end out so that it lays along the sealing bar. And on this model, the sealing bar is on top and there's a pad on the lower side. So just drape the bag across that pad, close the lid, latch it down, and we're going to hit the seal only button. So this is going to take a couple seconds and it will count down, and you'll hear audible beeps when the sealing is complete, and then the light will go out. Okay, and the light's out. Let's verify. We've got a nice clean sealed edge there. Now we just need to pull enough of the bag out that we know our product will fit in it, and that we're leaving enough of an edge to fit into the vacuum sealer and seal. So we pull the knife cutter across, get our bag cut open. Add our steaks to the bag. Place the open end of the bag in the drip tray, making sure that this is nice and flat across the front and that I don't have any loose particles stuck in here. Close the lid, latch it down, and I'll hit vacuum. When I hit vacuum, you'll hear it start to draw that air out using the compressor. When the tone changes, you'll know that you've got a good tight seal on the bag, and then it'll seal. Now, you may notice if it continues to run and it seems like it's taking a little longer than usual, then you might have a wrinkle in your bag and you may just need to reposition. And there's kind of a tendency to want to put more in the bag than will fit comfortably on that sealing edge. So you may have to remove a little bit from the bag and then try again in case things are just too tight up here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit vacuum. And now it's sealing. And when the light goes out, it's done, ready to open. And there you have your nice sealed steak. Here we have our chamber vacuum. And one of the big advantages of a chamber vacuum is you're pulling a vacuum on the entire inside space here. So the big difference is you no longer have to have the perforated bags that air is drawn out of. Kind of the big advantage there over the external style sealers is you can seal liquids. Say you've made some soup and you've got more than you can eat, you want to put it away for leftovers in the freezer, you can add that soup to any of these poly bags, put it in the chamber, and seal it down. This machine offers a lot of flexibility in terms of both vacuum time and sealing time, and that is kind of application specific. So sometimes it takes a little trial and error in terms of the sealing and vacuum time. Sealing time you'll want to adjust so that you don't burn through the bag. So I'd always err on the side of a little less sealing time than too much, because you can always add another sealing cycle to reseal it again. Vacuum time, you'll just have to look at your package and see if it's pulled down nice and tight the way you want it, and it looks like all the air has been evacuated, then your vacuum time is good. If the bag seems a little bit loose, you can increase those times as well. So, and it's very easy to manipulate on the front. All you do is press the set button to cycle between the vacuum time or the sealing time, and use the arrows on the front to increase or decrease the time. The time is shown in seconds. Let's do a quick demonstration of how we're gonna seal this soup here. So again, I've got a bag here that's pre-made. It's sealed on 3 sides, open on the top side. I'm gonna transfer my soup and try to push some of that fluid down away from where the sealing bar will rest. I'll put this in the chamber, and I will drape the open end across the sealing bar. Now this machine automatically activates as soon as you push the lid down. So you'll hear as soon as I push the lid down, it's gonna start the pump, it's gonna vacuum it down. You'll see the timer count down to 0, and then it'll go into sealing mode. And the click that you hear is actually the sealing bar moving to the sealing position. It's gonna press against this top bar here, and that's what's gonna create that nice sealing line on the bag. Let's go ahead. Once the cycle is over, you'll hear vacuum release, the lid will automatically open, and the tone will sound indicating that the cycle is complete. So here we have our sealed bag of soup. You can lay this out flat, put it in the freezer, and store it in a nice flat position. So there you have our vacuum sealer, our professional grade vacuum sealer, and our chamber vacuum. If you'd like additional information or just need some more detailed specifications on these products or any of our other products, visit us at madewithmeat.com.